Okay, we're in part 3 of how to create a plan for a winning business. Part 3 is all about the product and or service themselves and the important aspects of creating a plan for each of them. So let's get right on into it. The first thing you've got to do, of course, it's obvious that you've got to spell out in some detail the essential features of the product. Let's talk about a thing, a device, or some software, things like that. What are the essential features? What does it do functionally that meets the needs of the customers that you're trying to satisfy? Simple as that. But it's in much more detail. It's expressed from the point of view of the actual people that are going to use the product in some way. So it walks through the user interface, the functionality, how the functionality presents itself, how does it actually work, what results are achieved, what does the user do with the results, and the list goes on. It is an important part of the definition of a brand new product. So you start there, and you really are drawing upon all of what you have learned about your customer, your potential customer, and you know exactly what their needs are, and now you're going to define the product that delivers on those needs. And then once you've decided on what these features are, you write what I used to call a functional specification. It goes by all sorts of different names today, particularly in the software world. That's really an ancient term, but functionally, what are the feeds and speeds and specifications that a user is going to need to know in order to actually effectively use your product? This all has to get written down because people are going to be asked to actually develop this product, design it and develop it with what you're specifying in the essential features as well as the functional specification as I'm describing here. And then you develop a plan for the actual implementation. That means personnel, tools, schedules, committed time by certain individuals to do certain tasks to actually develop this product. So all that has to get put in place. Then let me speak a moment about a different kind of product, a services product. The essential features and specification of a service is a methodology. It's a document that describes the methods by which you present a consulting service or any other form of service to your customers. It isn't necessarily software or hardware or any form of hard goods. It's the methods by which you're going to deliver a service to the customers who need it. This is often found in the nonprofit world, but service offerings are the world of consultants and accountants and lawyers, but people who deliver soft goods, if you will, to their customers and meet their needs with service offerings. There must be a methodology that describes that because it has to be repeatable. So that's methodology development. You need a plan for it just like you needed a plan for the development of a product itself. So once you have developed the hardware or software or the methodology for a service, there has to be a plan for its delivery into the marketplace. That takes a lot of doing. Aside from marketing and sales, which we'll cover at another time in another part of this series that we're talking our way through, the delivery plan is how does it get out of the door into the hands of a customer? So if it's a product, then it's going through some sort of process of manufacturing and distribution. If it's a service, it is the engagement of certain people to perform that service. But how do they get there? What is the process by which a product or a service is delivered to your customer? So you have to write down how you got to go about doing that. It's sometimes kind of complicated. So if it's a hardware product, you have to make it. So this is a long drawn out process of figuring out how to manufacture it. It may require manufacturing engineering support to come up with new tools, new processes and molds and things like that to make your thing. And once done, then you have to have a way to warehouse it, get the parts delivered So there's got to be a supply chain involved. This is really complicated, but you need a plan for that. You got to think this through. So you write this down, and some person in your organization is going to create a manufacturing and distribution plan for your product. In the case of service, this is easy. There is no manufacturing line or distribution or supply chain. There might be a supply chain of service providers that participate in the methodology of the services that you're performing. So the analogy of manufacturing in the services arena is partnerships with other consultants. So that's manufacturing and distribution. It is a big deal. Then the final thing you've got to think about is, once this product or service is delivered and it's in the hands of customers, or the resultant service is being performed by your customer, they might have some problems, or they may want something more, or they have questions that need to be answered by you. They're having bugs in their software. The hardware thing you shipped them is broken, or it is being delivered late. So there's got to be some support within your company to handle these kinds of inquiries. It's called customer support. You need a plan for it. Customer support can be a very costly thing in your company and can take away a lot of profit if you don't do it well. So you should be exploring a plan for customer support that's kind of leading edge, mainly online, lots of video content and other forms of rich content, and answer questions all online, and only in the most dire situation does somebody answer a telephone call or get on chat with somebody about a problem they're having. You want to put it in their hands without them actually having to talk to you. Customer support is something that's got to be managed very well. So there you have it, the whole 9 yards of how to create a plan for a winning business, and all of what goes into the actual making and delivery and support of your product or service. That's it for having a winning product. Do all the right things in order to deliver a product that's going to be really successful. Hope that helps. Have a great day.